You're listening to a Roddenberry podcast.
Welcome to Talking Ted, a Roddenberry Entertainment production brought to you by Bear Fight Whiskey, which is damn good whiskey. In this Shore Leave series, we're going to take a trip over to Peacock to discuss the special series Ted by Seth MacFarlane. We invite creatives and actors to the show to sip some bear fight, chat about the show, and discuss Ted's role as sort of a Jiminy Cricket type figure.
I hope he doesn't fail at that.
I think he will. I think, spoiler alert,
Not great.
he may or may not.
Welcome to Talking Ted, everybody. This is the first episode of our series where we're going to explore all 7 episodes of Ted, the Talking Teddy Bear. That's my subtitle, Mike. I'm Jessica Lynn Verdi.
And I'm Mike Richards. You may know us from Mission Log the Orville, Seth MacFarlane's other series, but now we're taking a little bit of shore leave to talk about Ted, the series. We're going to sip a little bear fight whiskey, chat with some actors and creatives, and see where that takes us. Probably nowhere good.
Cheers, Mike.
Cheers, Jess.
So how are you enjoying your whiskey today?
I am trying something a little bit different today. I got some true honey teas,
Ooh.
and there's an apple cinnamon variety, and that with about a ounce and a quarter of Bear Fight whiskey in my Planetary Union mug.
Yes.
That was procured by my lovely wife, Tiffany. I am enjoying it that way. Just a little hot tea.
Yes.
And it brings out the flavor very nice.
Oh, I love that. I think honey goes very well with this, but I do like the ice. I like the water experience. So I think all you're going to see with me during this series is ice in the glass, though we will provide for you throughout our series different cocktails that you could potentially make with Bear Fight. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Bear Fight Whiskey has a number of recipes on their website. I've tried most of them. This whiskey is excellent, neat, just about, maybe 2 fingers. I've tried it a variety of ways. I'm saving the grumpy old man for when we chat with Scott about Loud Night.
But you are the grumpy old man.
So I can just drink that whenever I want. Maybe that's what I have right now.
I mean that with all due love and respect.
Of course.
We have the creator and the voice of Ted that we're going to talk to a little bit later in this program. Before we do, we'll talk a little bit about the series overall, our thoughts and hopes and dreams about a talking teddy bear. What do you think?
I think it's great. I mean, I have, spoiler alert, I've watched all 7 episodes already. We're going to do not quite a mission log style deep dive into each and every episode, looking for messages, morals, and meanings. But we will take a look at every episode and chat and sip. And I've enjoyed the heck out of it. And I mean, Ted the movies and Ted 2, Ted and Ted 2 with Mark Wahlberg and Seth MacFarlane voicing the titular bear.
Titular, yes.
Titular. I was trying to think of epimonious, but I couldn't quite come out with that word.
But we got there.
Sort of.
I'm impressed.
Those movies were so much fun.
Yes.
and just reached a place in, I guess, my childhood that that not everybody can. Like talking about Flash Gordon the movie,
wow,
which
sure.
when I was 12, 13 years old, I was convinced that was the greatest movie of all time.
How could you not be, though? I have residual nostalgia because of how my father experiences that movie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because he loved it so much. I love it. In a weird way, while watching Ted the movie, I'm experiencing how my father might.
Right.
And I actually own the Flash Gordon record with all the Queen songs on it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was, I think I was about 12, maybe 13 years old when that film came out.
Wow.
And my brother and I, 8 years older than I am, was doing quite a bit to make sure that I had things to do and places to go, and included me in things where I'm sure he would have rather been hanging out with his, with his friends his age. But I remember going to see Flash Gordon a couple of times, and it was just, man, I thought that movie was just fantastic. And then it did, obviously flashbacks of watching Flash Gordon, the serial on PBS when that got shown as a kid. Just really good nostalgia.
I love that. Yeah, the movies themselves are a really great homage to being a kid and like having a hard time trying to be an adult in today's world. How do you and there's so much whimsy in the fact that you have a talking teddy bear that we buy. We buy it.
And spoiler alert, if you think Ted has boundless whimsy, in an upcoming episode, we do find the bounds of Ted's whimsy.
We certainly do, yeah. I actually can't wait to get on the other side of this and talk to Seth. Anything else you want to talk about before we invite the eponymous?
Just looking forward to moving along.
See you there.
Hey folks, we're here to talk to you about Bear Fight Whiskey, how much we've been enjoying it, and how you can enjoy it yourselves.
I'm a whiskey drinker through and through, and I think I have found my new favorite go-to in Bear Fight Whiskey. It's a little bit of scotch, it's a little bit of bourbon, it's a little bit of grape, and we want to extend a discount to you so you can sip right along with us.
Bear Fight Whiskey is an American single malt. It's one of the most awarded single malt whiskeys in the U.S. It's a simple recipe, it's a fantastic flavor, and it goes great with anything.
So head over to bearfightwhiskey.com, type in BF20 at checkout, and get yourself $20 off of shipping.
And now, back to the show. Welcome back to Bear Fight Presents Talking Ted, presented by Bear Fight Whiskey. Today we're going to talk about Ted with the creator, dare I say the father of Ted, Seth MacFarlane, friend of the show, been a good friend to us for the last several years as we covered the Orville on Mission Log the Orville for the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Seth, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, you guys. I feel like I have to point it out for your viewers that we had some technical issues, so I'm staring. I'm still mastering this whole. Okay, so that now I'm looking at you guys, but now I'm really looking at you guys. So
we can feel it regardless.
I'm just gonna stay right here and make it just a happy medium.
Split the difference. I appreciate that. Although I do have to ask, how do you feel being referred to as the father of Ted?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, I think it's canon that Ted's mother was a Chinese seamstress who left a note inside him. I think was the line.
A note that said she's never had a vegetable. Yeah.
So now we know.
We genuinely were so excited to talk about Ted, and also, God, I think of us two, both Mike and myself, he had watched the series first, and he said, "You're not going to believe how great it is." And so it's really easy. We could just spend this whole time talking about just how much we loved watching this show. But what I want to know is how much fun is it on the creative side of it? Because we're going to talk to all the actors from the show, and I'm sure they have plenty of fun stories. Is this more challenging, or is it more fun to create something like this with a CGI bear?
It's tedious to it's interesting with a show like Orville. There's a breadth of there's a lot of variety with the kind of visual effects work that you do, and here it's just you're kind of doing one thing every day, and you gotta there's a series of steps. You have to shoot your empty plate, you have to shoot your stuffed bear pass. You have to shoot, a ball pass for the visual effects studio to get the lighting right. So there's a lot of things it's very much like shooting a traditional multi-camera sitcom, or a single camera sitcom rather. So it's pretty basic in that regard. But there are these extra steps that just, they're worth it because they make the bear look great. But day after day, it just starts to get really, you hope that somebody will come up with a way to make this go faster.
And there's got to be days where you don't even have the actors on set because you're doing all those passes. Or I guess you have to have, what's the challenge with having everyone on set when it comes to that?
Well, the passes are pretty quick. It's like if it's a scene with John and Ted, we shoot, we'll shoot a stuffy pass with John next to the stuffed bear.
Stuffy, I love that.
I know. God, why did I say? I hate it when I say that now. I just said it.
Well, there may or may not
Like-
be a furry episode in the future, so now we have a stuffy.
It's like when you catch yourself like parroting terrible set lingo. That's when you know it's all over.
We
Oh, I
talked
hate
about
all
that the
stuff.
first time we had you on, which was like
Hate
the
it.
code for going piss or something like
Yes,
that too.
10-1. I was going 10-1. Oh, let's get them into the works. Like they're curing cancer, for God's sake. It's
I
just,
love it.
but yeah, there's the stuffed bear pass with the actor and the stuffed bear. Then the bear comes out and you do the scene and you get the actor's performance. And then once that's done, you do like a ball pass, which they take this gray shaded ball and put it into the shot where the bear is to kind of give the animators like a base level lighting guide with how to light the bear. So it's shooting wise, it's pretty basic. Like you do like your wide shot, your overs, your close ups, your anything you need, and then you kind of move on. So it's much more of a just a pure raw kind of actors show than what I've done before.
And I imagine with Ted and Ted 2, that was physical effects at that point, or was that a CGI bear at that time as well?
No, that was also a CGI bear. It's actually the same studios that did the movies.
Well, because you created an app, you're part of the creation of an app now that kind of lets the creators see in real time what will eventually be there. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's the view screen app that
Right.
was developed by Brandon Fayette, who
Worked on the Orville.
Yeah, and
Who was B. Fayette in Lasting Impressions.
That's right, exactly. And he developed that for the Orville actually, and it became even more useful for Ted as like a day-to-day tool. So yeah, it certainly made the process a little less cumbersome. It's still a cumbersome process that takes a lot. It's strangely you think that between 2011 or whenever we started shooting the movie, 2010, whatever the hell it was, that it was that was later than that. When did the movie come out? 2012, right? So probably like
yes, that's right.
2011. So that would be what, 13 years later? You'd think the technology would be a lot more streamlined. It's really not that different.
It's the quality at the end of the day, though, because like his fur and all that is looking so great.
It's in many ways, I think it looks better than the films, and that's
Sure.
just a function of the passage of time. But the process that we use to get them there is the one thing that's a little easier is I don't have to wear those big straps on my arms and legs, and the big Borg gear that you have to throw on to make sure that you get all the sensory data for the animators to work with. So all that stuff has kind of been replaced by the view screen app, which is great because that really was a pain in the ass. Like I would have to be literally unplugged every time I wanted to go talk to the actors.
I did not realize. So you did all that for Ted.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Because you could have easily had. So this is what I love about your artistry, genuinely, is what you can bring to make these characters come to life, whether it is from Family Guy to American Dad to Ted, and you're the one that has to do it. Because you could have outsourced that job, but you need to be the one that's doing it.
Yeah, the bear has to move like an actor, and it means as much as we can, we try to do that stuff live. So that's where the view screen app comes in. So if I'm recording dialogue, and I'm physically performing, it's recording my movements as well, and that's the ideal scenario. So yeah, it's the bear's voice, but it's also my movements as well. So I'm kind of Andy Serkising this whole thing, and the problem is if I didn't do that, it would feel very disjointed and kind of general and disconnected. It just, you wouldn't buy it. So
Totally,
it all has to kind of come from the same person, whether it's me or someone else. It's like it all has to kind of be unified.
Mike, you hit the nail on the head. Then you are the father of Ted.
The mannerisms, the facial expressions, all that leads into it, and you only get that by doing it the way you do it. It sounds like.
Yeah, and it's we have a great visual effects supervisor in Blair Clark who did the movies as well, and a fantastic Tippett was great. Frame Store Melbourne was really extraordinary with the kind of nuances that they added to the to the mix. So I would give them my performance, and they kind of had liberty to go in and like, look, if there's something that you think would help, and like kind of tweak it and add some subtleties.
Sure.
They did a lot of that really just made this even better. So it's a collaborative effort in many ways between, here's my acting, now make it better.
Well, because this is wonderful too, because some of the best reaction moments, you actually get amazing reaction moments out of Blair, the cousin, but some of the best Ted reaction moments are where he's not saying anything, but he's really confused as to what Johnny just said, or is us as the audience. So it sounds like that team effort really makes those moments land as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty simple looking character, so it's kind of less is more. There's that sort of general like
yeah, exactly.
That you see Ted do a lot that just kind of it's a default for pretty much everything. It's our version of the Homer Simpson blank stare, which is just more interesting than a lot of subtle nuance. Like, let the audience imprint something onto Ted from each person will have some idea of their own of what they think Ted is thinking.
That's exactly right.
And just getting to see the reactions of Georgia, who is, I think, the straight person on the cast, just reacting to the insanity and seeing her facial expressions. I tell you, if you're watching the show and doing something else on your second screen, you're missing out, because it's watching the people that aren't speaking that is truly entertaining in this show, and it's across the board that way.
We did give the actors each a stuffed Ted about maybe 3 or 4 months before shooting started, and we encouraged them to kind of just don't leave home without it. Like, take the bear everywhere, and they really took it to heart. Like Max and Georgia and Scotty and Lana. Like, I think Max took the bear out to a bar, and Georgia was driving with hers, which I guess you can use the HOV lane technically.
I think at that point, right?
But it really kind of, the whole point was that get comfortable, knowing exactly where his eyes are at all times.
Wow.
If he's not there, just have it be second nature that you know exactly where he's going to be. And there are things that you find, everybody's eye line is different. So, on the Orville, for example, somebody was looking at a monitor. Some actors would need to look lower, other actors would need to look higher, because everyone's eyes are different. So your eye line what we found a lot with Ted was that when you look at his nose, it just looks a lot better on camera. So, when we got to shoot, we said, all right, just ignore his eyes, look at his nose, and it's going to look about right.
Wow. Yeah. Because there's not a moment where I'm looking at it and going, oh, there's the CGI of it all too. You know?
Yeah.
From the success of the movies to now, the most successful show Peacock has had, which is just got to feel so great. What is it, do you think, that America likes about Ted?
I mean, to be the most successful show on all of Peacock,
no small feat.
Well,
I mean, we're talking 3 decades of programming.
But you've also you're the most successful launch of an American sitcom in the UK in decades.
Yeah, about 20 years. Yeah, I think I mean, in many ways, it's the same thing that applies to Family Guy. It's just a show that's out to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ted is unique in that a lot of CGI kind of wants you to know it's CGI, but it's kind of flashy and it's kind of in your face a little bit with it. And the whole goal with Ted is that you just want to forget that it's CGI. Like, it just wants to be almost boring the way he gestures and the way he moves. Like, there should be no big flourishes and things that you would generally see with an animated character that you want to show off. Like, the whole point is that he just needs to be as dull as any human.
That makes me think of like Wahlberg and him fighting in the motel. That is as real as you can imagine an adult fighting with a teddy bear could be. Yeah. And you're not looking at huge, like, I'm sure it's a huge CGI budget just to accomplish that, but it almost looks real, like it's actually happening.
Yeah, and that whole fight was probably a minute and a half, and it took 3 days to shoot. It was just it was like so carefully storyboarded and prevised beforehand. Like, I mean, everything about that fight was just,
you can tell.
he was just like nothing left a chance. And it was just Mark, Mark with like this stuffed ball that
he's throwing at himself. And
yes, exactly.
Teddy frickin' Ruxpin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So good. Well, we have a couple more minutes. Mike, why don't I let you ask the last couple of questions about our overview of Ted before we get into it?
Okay, I've got questions. We'll rapid fire if you don't mind.
Sure.
Is Sheila really that bad a name?
No. Our casting director Sheila Jaffe is a very good sport.
Oh, that's brilliant. Was there a Ted in your life? And was it Mike Henry?
It was not Mike Henry. I do remember having a teddy bear at one point when I was a kid. I remember actually dropping it in the toilet at one point, and that was very traumatic. It was not on purpose. It was an accident.
No, of course not.
But,
and your poor teddy bear.
But yeah, it's I mean, it wasn't like a huge part of my life, but I do remember having one at one point.
I was very scared for Ted being flushed down the toilet and where he was going to go in this series, and we figured out how school bathroom toilets work in that moment.
Yes.
It's very good.
We're going to talk more about reflections on the show and kind of looking back at it if we have you back at the end of our series. But for now, just talking about the creative process and things like that, kind of scale to 1 to 10. How much fun was the just working with the rest of the cast and crew on this project?
I mean, they're fantastic. Like you have 4 just world-class actors. 3 of whom we had on the Orville.
Right.
And they're just phenomenal. I mean, it was the real challenge with this show is the post work, but on set, you have 4 actors who are so prepared, so on it. Each one has such an absolute command of their character. Like there just wasn't even anything close to like a tense moment at any point on set with these actors. Like they just all, I mean, it just couldn't have been smoother. They had a blast. They're all kind of ready and itching to come back for a season 2, but they were fantastic. I mean, it was just a perfect cast.
Seth, we're looking forward to watching the whole series. What would you want our viewers and listeners to think about or keep in mind while they're watching the series along with us?
It's a very good question. It's not it's a different show from Orville, so it's not like there's a lot of social undercurrents that are woven through the narrative. It's pretty much 2 guys who are getting high and getting into hijinks.
So bear that in mind, with no pun intended.
yes. It's just try to enjoy it.
I know we're going to enjoy it because we already did, and we're also going to enjoy some Bear Fight whiskey. Well, thank you so much, Seth, for joining us again. Thank you, Jessica, for being such a great co-host. And join us next time as Bear Fight Whiskey presents Talking Ted, as we discuss the first episode, Just Say Yes.
Just say yes, Mike.
Just say yes.
Talking Ted is produced by Roddenberry Entertainment. Executive producer Rod Roddenberry and John Champion. Our website and your opportunity to comment and connect with us is podcast.roddenberry.com. This is a Roddenberry podcast. For more great podcasts, visit podcast.roddenberry.com.